Oh, good afternoon, everybody. This is Seeking Truth, Finding Frank and Fraser. I'm your host, Frank. I just want to make the screen a little brighter so everybody can see my beautiful face. Come on, turn it on. Oh, there we go. So, how's everybody doing? We're going to invite Fraser now. All right. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but Fraser wants to do a quickie. I don't think I'm going to be doing anything tonight. So we'll give about 15, 20 minutes in. Not a big deal. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but, Fraser Williams is watching. Approve. Odd. There he is. Hey, Fraser, what's
Hello,
going on?
hello. Not much. How's it going with you?
Much better today. Of course, I gave you that news in private.
Ah,
So
I
I
already
can't
knew
tell.
the answer. I knew it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
two
yeah.
thumbs up.
So yeah,
Can I do two thumbs up?
I'm waiting for the.
Thumbs up.
Yeah, there we go.
Thumbs up.
I'm waiting for the other shoe to
Okay.
drop, but right now everything is going well, so I'm happy.
Oh, that sounds like such. It was like, anyways, when it rains, it
That's what it is.
pours.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes it's good because that's good for the plants.
You
They'll
know,
grow.
God does answer some prayers. It takes a little time, and not the way you expect, but God answers.
Sometimes it takes 3 years. Who knows?
Sometimes it takes 3 years. Yeah.
Anyways, they are
Oh my
answered in the
goodness.
end, as they
Yeah.
were. No, that's fine. That's good. That's excellent. No, but if we want, like you said, I was watching, like I just clicked briefly. I only saw, I think I'm like 20 seconds behind what I saw just when I clicked on the video first. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So you were saying something in the interim, but just that we were going to Yogi Berraisms, perhaps. But quickly, maybe we could do one. Maybe we could do the
Oh, oh yeah. Right. But
95%.
baseball is
What baseball?
90%. He said it was
90%.
90% physical. The other half is mental.
And that's awesome, and it sounds so
Yeah.
ridiculous, but then
It
I
does.
got thinking about it, and it's like, wait. There's an overlap. That's the only
There's a
explanation. It makes
40%.
perfect sense when you see there's an overlap. Wait, my brain is in my body. It's like the whole concussion thing. Boom.
Yeah.
Hockey, football, 90% physical, 50% mental. There's an
Oh, wait.
overlap.
Let me
Whoops,
get.
those.
I want to
So
get
go
the
ahead,
exact.
please.
I want to get the exact quote so I don't screw it up because I
Yeah,
just screwed
please do.
something up.
Yeah, because I try and put it in. Oh, I forgot to put it in the last one. Oh no, I didn't cut it up. I actually just watched our last episode where we talked about no one goes there
Oh yeah.
anymore,
Here we go.
and the other one, over and over again. No, the deja vu thing.
Yeah.
And so I saw there was actually two episodes in there.
Probably three the way we talk.
So
You all
there's
right?
someone honking on the way through. Yeah, I'm like right downtown. Wait, I'll just give it. Sorry, there was two, but I realized that there was two different episodes, and when I do it, I put the proper quote, the Yogi Bear
Right.
quote, even when I'm misquoting it, whatever. But so go ahead, please, with the
Okay. So the
90,
proper
90%.
quote is
Yep,
it's 90% mental and the other half is physical. I got
90%
them mixed
mental.
up. I knew I screwed up somewhere, but yeah.
90% mental, but okay, sorry, I did it too. But I hold to my point. There's overlap. That's what
Oh
explains
yeah,
it to be
40%
true
overlap.
and not ridiculous. It sounds like he must have misspoke. No, there is truth, but you
There's
have to
truth to
like
it.
find it. There's overlap. Okay, I'm just gonna show you where I am. Maybe
There's a lot of
Montreal.
things. 'Cause,
Here's that.
okay.
It's Chinatown.
Oh,
That's where
cool.
the old cinema burnt down, old Chinese theater or something. It just like poof up in smoke,
Oh.
and now there's just a big hole. Oh, you can't see much that way. Old Town is behind me, or Old Montreal. There's the Palais des Congrès. Can you see me? I don't even know if you can see me.
So there's
But
all the snow
anyways,
that's gone. Look at that.
oh,
Oh
for
wait, the
sure. Like
screen.
you see, like just little
Hold on.
pieces. Do you have it? What does your snow look like?
Wait,
I'll turn this around. Oh,
wait.
I have the radio on. Sorry, I realized I have the radio on.
I'm sorry, I got everything black here, but yeah. See,
Okay,
almost all of it is gone.
nice.
It
Okay,
is,
that car is still crumpled though.
yeah, just for you. It hit 12 degrees Celsius yesterday,
Woo, that'll
and
melt it. That's
it melted.
nice.
It melted very, very quickly. I'll put that back later. But it
And
melted
so your
very, very
brother's coming
quickly.
home in like an hour or something,
Should
no?
be. Well, it takes about an hour to get home. He was leaving at 3, so he should have left already.
Whoops.
Oh wait,
Okay, nice. So the snow
let
is
me catch a
gone
photo of him.
just in time. Yeah,
Alrighty.
that's nice.
Right, the snow's gone just in time for him to, and he can't really walk too well. He's kind of a gimp right now, so all the snow being
That's okay.
melted is a good thing.
You gotta tell it. It's not just baseball. It's like recovery too.
Yeah, it's
Recovery
another.
is 90%
I was,
mental
yeah,
and 50% physical, or
I
the
was
other
gonna
half is
get into
physical.
that. I wanted to get into that because a lot
Oh,
of
you are. Oh,
things
sorry,
that
I
we do.
blew the punchline.
No, you didn't. No, actually, no, you didn't. It's a good segue because a lot of that we think that we can't do is all mental. If we
Yeah,
think that we can do it, we probably can.
and it's only half physical. That's
Right?
it.
Right.
Only half of it is physical. So I'm trying to get it right to the trying to get it right this time. But
Yeah, right.
90% of it is physical. Of any activity, of any endeavor.
Right.
No, that's it.
It's our minds that stop us. It really is. It's like it's you can have this if
Yeah.
you get into this mindset that you can't. Let's say, I don't know, anything physical. It's not because Edison, what Edison, Thomas Alva
Oh,
Edison. He said that
yeah.
invention is 97% perspiration. No, 97% perspiration, 3% inspiration.
Perspiration, and
Yeah,
the other one is
3% inspiration.
inspiration.
Yeah, but
But he
other
did it like it's
he
his
didn't
was
do
actually mutually exclusive.
he
Yogi
didn't.
Bear is
You know
smarter
what?
than
You know what?
Edison.
Edison stole all of his inventions. Fuck Edison.
I
I
heard
can't
that
stand him.
too.
But
He was kind
getting
of
into
weird.
that, now, if we get into our brain that let's say I get into my brain that I can't run, I can't do something physical.
Mm,
So it's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy that I won't be able to do it. So I just don't do it. So
mm.
that part always stops yourself. But if you think you can and you know you can, convince yourself that you can, you do it. Just remind me, Rob Decker, one that Sean was
Oh
talking to.
yeah.
You talked to him too,
I
haven't
w-
you?
I only got halfway through the episode. I was actually listening to it kind of almost
I
on the
didn't.
radio, as it were, today.
I didn't listen to any of it, but from what I hear, he had a broken back. He was on disability,
Oh,
and
this
he was
guy,
very
man.
out of shape. And look at him now. He's a
Oh
muscle-bound
yeah.
maniac.
Yeah, no, but his story. I mean, just the episode like yesterday. I mean,
Oh, I didn't hear it. No, I want
with
to
he
talk to him.
and
I would.
Sean. Oh, you should watch that or you hear that one. It was
I
good.
gotta
It
hear it.
technically they were. Anyways, it had a good conversation. Yeah, I think.
I gotta hear it. I gotta. Oh, I'm sorry. He posts to YouTube, so I can get it on the Serving God podcast on YouTube.
That's it, and you can hear it. It's about an hour long, but it's.
Yeah,
I
we
think
always.
it's the audio. I've only hit the audio, but I saw that, or I heard that there was some technical difficulties, but the audio sounds pretty good.
So there's a guy, who he could have just easily have given up. Say, the doctors
Hmm.
say you never walk again, whatever it is your disability is, and get into your head that you can't do something because mentally
Yeah,
they're telling you can't do it. He overcame all of that.
I'm telling you, and now you hear him talk in this podcast. You should hear his tone, just how he talks about other people, like how even his part or his wife, and even how he goes through it with Sean. I mean, you can see that he's gone through something bigger, and it informs him. He's just kind of a calm, kind of, well, he says of course, he's not a perfect person. He admits
Of
that
course,
fully, but
yeah,
just that you can see how that had. Well, I don't know. I'm trying to imagine how that kind of experience as it formed what the person we're talking to Sean was.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
It's
yeah, no,
and a lot of addiction too is mental. If you can get over that mental part of the addiction, you can overcome it too.
that's the
What
parking
happened?
guy.
Oh
Sorry.
no!
I'm
You gotta
allowed to
get
park here. I have to pay as soon as I leave my car. That's all I'm saying.
okay.
Um,
There you go. So
I got a
yeah,
good spot. What is my spot? N583. I got to
are you
remember that.
using
N583.
N5? Oh, we don't have to do that. We got these in New York. You have muni meters now. They're on every corner or in the middle of the street. You put money in, you get a little ticket to put on your dashboard, and you paid for parking.
Do you know they have some? Oh, who did that? I'm just trying. Oh, it's a certain district or a certain neighborhood in Montreal. You pay, you put in your license plate number. Whoops!
Oh,
Not
wow.
where you
Okay.
parked, not in the meter, not a ticket on the dashboard.
Here, I don't know
But
what
it
it is
doesn't matter
yet.
where you parked. It doesn't. You could park anywhere you want, and you put in your license plate number, and you're paid till when
Okay,
you leave.
cool.
So there's a convenience to it, but there's another
Now,
side to that
but
equation too. Like
now they
instead of
know.
like,
Yeah.
mm,
Now they know if you violated the parking area or you get a
just
ticket,
saying,
they can pinpoint you.
they've got a
Here,
lot of data on you now. They have
yeah, they do.
a lot of demographic information
Demographics.
on you.
Here we go. See that today? And everything comes full circle. Here,
Again and again. It's like deja vu.
all over again.
all over again. I'm saying that one is just gonna keep repeating. We're gonna go all the way to 50, but that one's gonna happen
Oh
50
yeah.
times. I'm telling you, yeah.
Anyway, parking here is 25 cents for 15 minutes.
$3 an hour.
$3 an hour. So it's
An
you know what?
hour.
Wow. Wow. I can park for 2 hours. No, was it? Yeah, 2 hours for $2. $1 an hour.
I'm actually literally parked on top of a highway right now, actually. This is a bridge over a highway, and I can park on it. So I'm on top of a highway. Maybe that's worth $3 an hour. I don't know. I don't
think
mind.
it's worth
It's
$3
actually
an hour.
cheaper because I tick-tock tack. It's cheaper than sitting in a lot that costs. Wait, can you see that?
Yes, I can see that.
No,
With the big P, yeah, I can see it.
this one, the
I see
little
it.
one.
Yeah.
It says
Oh
no,
yeah.
the little P one. Wait, I'm gonna block out the one you're looking at.
Oh,
The
I
little
see
P
it.
one says parking $20 fix,
Whoa.
which means $20 a day, and that's not even as
Well, this
bad as
is.
when I park underground in under
Well,
my
no,
employer.
I'm talking about street parking. This is not private parking in any lots or anything.
I'm
You
just
pay
saying,
25
I'm
cents a
better to
minute.
do street parking at $3 an hour than park all day in one of
Yeah.
those things. That's how expensive it is. I'm happy to pay $3 an hour. I'm telling
Right?
you, this is how ridiculous it is. Whoops.
Oh,
Because
speaking
and why
of,
wouldn't they make this a parking lot? Look at this. Do you know what this was? Wait, you might know what this
we
is.
went to
You see
parking
this
for.
empty lot there? Do
Yeah,
you
I
know what
see.
that
Yeah,
is?
yeah.
What happened there, do you think?
Well, you said it burned down, so that's what I
You
want to
knew
check.
about that? Oh.
You
Well, do
you
you think
just
that
told me
makes
10
sense?
minutes ago.
I know, but it happened 2 years ago. Why isn't there parking spaces there?
Anyway, yeah.
I'm joking. It was actually a very big tragedy. It was like a historic building, just like poof. It was so old that it was like 15 minutes and it was in ashes. It was
Now,
so old.
if you want to talk about a parking garage, we went to the New York International Auto Show. I'm sure you've heard about that. The world knows about that.
Do you know where they do the Montreal Auto Show?
No
Palais de
what?
Congrès. It was right there. I worked there. That was one of my jobs, was
Oh,
setting up
nice.
and taken down for the Montreal Auto Show, which was on the circuit of all the auto shows in North America. Detroit
Nice.
was a big one.
Yeah,
People would
Detroit's the
travel
biggest
from
one.
here, just setting up and taking down. You could make good money just
I bet.
following these things. I only picked up some here. It was like you could work nights, and that was just one. It came in January, and it was like 2 weeks. You could do nights, 12-hour nights, $20 an hour, which is pretty good for if I give a strong
That's,
back or without the
that's
strong
good
mind, I
money.
could offer that. Good money, right? So I did
That's
auto
good money,
show,
yeah.
but not a New York one. No, sorry. New York was on the circuit. That was where you were.
Right.
Yeah,
So
the auto show.
we
It's
parked.
so cool. I was like polishing the next generation cars, I'm
Oh
telling you.
God, check it out. So
Awesome, right?
private
Not all of them.
parking.
Only certain booths I was allowed to polish,
15,
and only at certain
15,
times.
20 years
Mostly
ago.
I was
Would
just
you let me
figuring.
talk, please? Fraser, God! Holy crap! He's a khaki on people. Look it up.
Get
Uh,
on!
so we went.
Go
This
ahead.
is about 15, 20 years ago. We went to the auto show. We drove there, parked our car. I think we paid $50 for parking for 2 hours.
Well, no, we went to on the island where they have our amusement park, like all the roller coasters and these things.
Yeah,
$50 a day,
that's not bad.
$110 for me and my son to get in, $150
Wow,
a day, $50 parking, flat rate, boom.
that's 160.
You
You know
get
the
like
math?
some refund, but you had blah, 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 blah. It was hard to get the refund anyways. So it's like $100 a day, or no, $50. It might have been $40 if you felt like really smart about it, but regular. That's just every day, and people do it. It was packed to the
Yeah,
barge,
no, I
man.
know. People get extra money. They spend it. They spend it crazy. So
$50. No, this is when parking is just where wow. I just got to get out of the car.
how do we get from 90% mental to parking? I don't know.
Parking is no. There's no link. There really. Look at this guy.
There's no link. This is two separate. This is two separate podcasts
That's
now.
the guy. That's the guy. He's waiting for me. He's making sure I pay. That's the guy right there.
Oh
This
wait,
guy.
are cops armed in Canada?
Not cops. That's the parking dude.
I'm
Yeah,
just asking
cops.
in
They have a gun.
general. Are
Yeah,
cops armed in Canada? Okay.
yeah. They have a gun. Everyone, and some of them have tasers. Maybe they all have tasers.
We have
There
that.
was a time when only a few of them had tasers or something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
I am not totally informed, but they definitely
But
all have a holster.
I thought maybe since Canada is kind of linked to the United Kingdom, you would have the same gun laws. Like cops wouldn't have guns.
No, them over there. But you see how it happens over there. If the cops don't have guns, then the criminals don't have guns, and they don't have gun violence.
Actually, that doesn't work like that. Criminal cops don't
It
have
doesn't
guns.
work like that in the U.S. I agree. It
It'll
does
never
not
work
work
like
like
that
that in the
anywhere.
U.S. In the U.S. In the U.K., it's okay. They melted all the ones in Australia, and that like solved like boom. Not these kind
Didn't
of like
solve
weird
anything.
sort of
Homicides went
killing
up by
of young
30%.
children.
No, homicides went up 30%. Crime went up about 50% if they banned the guns. It didn't work. Look at the actual statistics. And in Britain, when they banned guns, they fudged the numbers. In fact, when they said something was a murder, they changed it to something else. If something was an armed robbery, they changed it to assault. So they fudged with the numbers in order to make it look like the gun ban worked. It didn't work. Believe me, it didn't work.
You're so not so calypso.
I'm
You want
pro-gun,
to talk about
pro-Second Amendment.
statistics? We're going to go about an hour and a half tonight, and I'm going to bring on some numbers. I'm going to bring you some numbers. No. Gun statistics, it doesn't work, Frank. Sorry. Don't bring the
It
statistics
does
like
work.
that.
It does work. Everywhere that increased gun ownership in the United States, crime went down. Absolutely, it does. Yeah. You can't
I'm just
convince
going
me
to keep doing
otherwise.
this. No.
You can't
Statistics on
convince
gun
me
violence.
otherwise.
Sorry. The United States is an anomaly in the world, and proof about what gun restrictions can do for reducing murders. Now I'm going to do this
The places
because the
with
United States does not have a good solution in general, and it's been proven around the world in other examples. And there is no
no,
way
I disagree.
statistically, I'm sorry, but I have studied for a long time in statistics, Frank. There is no way statistically that
But
this
if you
argument
fudge with the
goes that
numbers,
way. I'm sorry, but we better not talk about this
if you
because
fudge
there's
with the
no
numbers,
way. If
we're
you are
not going to
fudging
agree
with the
on that.
numbers right now, you're cherry picking studies. The people that you're getting your information from are doing it wrong, Frank. I'm telling you, dead serious. Statistically, there is no grounds to argue for less gun restrictions. Statistically, Frank, I'm telling you, this is something that I seriously, like really seriously know about. We better not get into it because if you throw these numbers at me, I'm going to spend hours throwing numbers back at you and
Uh,
showing why those studies and why those sources, if you throw what you just said to me, throw me some sources and I will break them down because I have gone through this with other people, Frank. Not even difficult for me because again, throw me the source, I'll show you why it's wrong. That's how it'll go.
oh,
Or we just don't talk about that. Seriously, because statistically I'm sorry, but no.
I'm pro Second Amendment. I'm pro self-defense. If you want to own a
I'm
gun,
pro self-defense also. I am pro
I say if you
self-defense,
want,
but Second Amendment is the most ridiculous amendment in the whole
I don't
thing.
think so. We
I
talked
know,
about that in
I
another
know, but
podcast.
statistically, you're killing people. It's morally wrong, and the way that you
When you
justify
have
it by
freedom,
trying to use statistics
Fraser,
is intellectually wrong. To try and use
Fraser,
statistics to justify it, you cannot use statistics because I will show you how the statistics that you just showed are morally unjustifiable because you're trying to do it to justify a Second Amendment, which tries to justify some sort of rebellion against the government,
Fraser.
was absolutely impossible. So
We went through
it's
that already.
unjustifiable. And then you talk about
I'm gonna
self-defense.
sum
I
up.
totally agree with self-defense. But when you talk about the whole number of murders in the whole number of United States, the massacres, the school massacres, and all that, there is absolutely no doubt the United States is an anomaly. And the reason for that is because of the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment is morally reprehensible. I'm sorry, but statistically, there is no, zero, no, almost zero, no. I'm going to get 99.9 because as a
If you
scientist, I can't get 100%. 99.9% sure, 100% in my soul, in my spirit, in myself, that the Second Amendment is morally reprehensible.
I
You
don't
might
think
not
so.
want to
I
get
don't think
into
it
it.
is. I
I
don't
know you
think it
don't,
is.
but I
If
just
you
showed
take
you that I
away
am very
if you
passionate about
take
the
away
opposite.
Chicago, what was it?
If you look at the United States itself, you're going to try and look at little examples. No, you have to look at the globe and understand the United States is a very, very anomalous entity in
but
terms of gun restrictions. Within it, there's a range of things, but when you go
we
within
do
like
have gun
triangle
laws.
restrictions, like within New York or within Chicago, different things compared to within Toronto, compared with any other city, you go with the most liberal application of gun laws in the United States. It's more conservative than the application of gun laws in any other city in the first world. So that there is no kind of comparison when you go outside the states to within the states that would show what you're trying to say. If you go from one state to another and say, oh, they tried something here for a couple of years, that is not statistically valid because it's not a true comparison of different gun laws. You're talking about the application of some gun laws within the legal United States, within the NRA.
You've said the same thing 4 times already. Fraser, I just need to ask you something.
I've gone through
Fraser,
all of these arguments. I'm sure.
But let me ask you something. I don't need to ask you. What law is going to stop a criminal from obtaining a gun illegally? Go ahead.
And I don't know, the ones that they do in Canada, the United States, Australia.
All right,
all of them that they've applied a whole system of gun registration and application of gun application, the application of gun buying, how you can get guns, where you can get guns. There are always going to be the possibility of evil people getting guns, but it's like the whole thing about porn. I like this. Let's go back to porn, because then I can put porn in the title. No, but the porn thing. No, seriously, let me go through this. It's going to take me about a minute. I'll go through slowly, because otherwise I talk really fast, and it would take only 15 seconds, but I'll take a minute. So the porn thing, that nowadays, in general, across the world, how we have porn available kind of on a platter in front of you at all times. If you want to look at it, all you have to do is turn your head just slightly and you see this whole platter of porn. And the problem is that when you have this, and with the kind of general vices that we have, a lot of people turn their heads that way. A lot of people Google search that thing. A lot of people spend time on this thing. Whereas that's just because, almost because, or a reaction to some of our natural vices. So some of our natural vices include violence. So if you have a platter of very accessible and very violent tools to enact these kind of innate vices that we have, that will increase the amount of evil. Now, if we talk about porn, that's evil in sort of the relationship sense. But when you talk about guns and arms, that's evil in the sort of like killing people sense. That's sort of like, in my mind, number one on the evil moral list. So it's about not offering this platter or restricting this platter as much as possible, knowing that we will do the most evil with it. Those of us, and I'm saying because all of these vices, no matter what percentage, they're in all of us. So whatever percentage it comes out to me, that those vices in all of us need to, for our own good, morally, we have to say we have to restrict our rights to own these deadly, deadly things for the global good. Because in the United States, when you look at the number of murders per capita, and when you look at the number of murders per capita in Australia, when they melted down all the guns, so they lower the accessibility, or when you look in the UK, how there's a lot lower accessibility to murder weapons or guns, that the murders by that are much lower. There's no statistical thing that you could slap at me.
Well, this is why America's separated from the UK.
You reduce the platter of guns. You reduce the number of guns on the market, whether it be high-power rifles, semi-automatics, these like spring butt
semi-automatics.
It's just like no, you just reduce the number. That is the solution. Morally, you have to do that. Any sort of justification against the reduction of the size of that platter, when you talk about the deadliest of the deadliest of the deadliest weapons, when you go up from nuclear, of course we don't let everyone have one. Tanks, of course you don't let everyone have one. When you talk about bazookas, of course you don't let everyone have one. When you talk about the most deadliest of deadliest, right below that level, of course we let them have them. That's just so stacked.
I got a couple
ridiculous.
of points.
Let them have hammers. Hammers kill people too. Let everyone have hammers. I'm totally agree with that.
Let me get a couple of points.
And then we talk about the moral equivalent between having a hammer and people can kill them. Knives, of course everyone could make them. Like any kind of sheath, you can make it. But
went over a minute
when
now.
About guns, it's just about talking about bazookas. It's talking about tanks. Just put all of those most deadly ones. When you can sit in a hotel and kill 50 people, take that one away from people. That one and things like that. Take that away from people now. That's a lesson. Learn it. Stack. Hey, wow. No, we should probably not get into it.
First of all, there are 100 million gun owners in America with over 1 trillion rounds of ammunition. If legal gun owners were the problem, you would know about it. 2, any law that's going to be put in to limit the number of guns for a legal gun owner is not going to affect a criminal. You take the 3 cities with the strictest gun laws, and they have the highest gun murders. Number 3 in the United States. Oh. Number 3, more crimes are committed with handguns than with rifles or shotguns. Rifles are not concealable. Handguns are. Number four.
Oh,
I think I have a fourth point. Okay, we separated from the UK because the British government
when
at the
was that?
time,
That
which
was
was run
last
by the
year?
king,
No, that was a few years
1776.
ago. 1776. Yeah.
1776,
That
quite a
was
few years
17.
ago.
Oh, it was right. That was
Because
1776. Yeah, yeah.
because we wanted autonomy and the ability to live our lives past a tyrannical government. So that's why we fought the American Revolution, and that's why the rights that we have to free speech, to own a gun,
That's
to
number one. Yeah.
for the first the 10
Two
the
is the
Bill of Rights.
shittiest one, I think.
I don't think so.
I think
These
two is
are
shittier than one.
inalienable.
I
These
think
are
shit.
inalienable rights given to us.
Well, if we need to continue that, no. But if you want to continue that, you need tanks and you need bazookas. If you want to continue the true spirit of the Second
We went
Amendment,
through that.
you, the people,
We're
need
just talking about
tanks.
self-defense. We're not talking. We're just talking
No,
about
no, no, no.
self-defense.
We're talking about tyrannical governments
I
now.
don't
No,
want to
sorry,
bring
we're
it to
talking
that.
about tyrannical governments. Are we
That's
talking about
another point.
tyrannical governments?
No, we're
1776.
not
We're
talking
talking about
about.
tyrannical governments.
I
So if the
just said
Second
we
Amendment
separated.
tyrannical governments in
Wait, Fraser,
1776,
Fraser, you're bringing
Second
to a
Amendment
point.
tyrannical governments nowadays. What can we do against tyrannical
You're
governments nowadays?
overreaching now.
We need to
Fraser,
have
you're
tanks.
overreaching.
How would you possibly overthrow a tyrannical
You're
government
you're
nowadays with pea shooters, with
you're
handguns? How would you
overreaching.
possibly do it? Now we talk about
Any
self-defense. What do you need for self-defense? You need something against the arms of
Fraser,
the other. All they have shown in the
Fraser,
whole rest of the
hold
world that
it.
it's better to take
Fraser, I need
guns
to
away
say
from
something, Fraser.
everybody. And
You
then the
just
few people that can get a hold of them, it's true. Everyone can get a hold of them. They're available all over the world. You order them by Google. You go order them by Amazon. I'm
Oh, I
sure,
got a
whatever.
fifth point.
But as
I got
soon
a
as you
fifth point.
restrict them, there are fewer of them. There are fewer deaths,
But
fewer
there
restrictions,
are
fewer.
restrictions,
Every
Fraser.
restriction,
There are
every
restrictions.
restriction, every restriction, every restriction on top of that reduces the number of deaths.
But there
Every
are
restriction
restrictions. Let me
reduces
tell
the
you,
number of deaths.
Fraser,
Every
Fraser,
additional restriction to the access to guns
Fraser,
reduces the number of
Fraser.
deaths
I
without
need to
any
talk.
doubt statistically.
Fraser,
And you
I
still
need to
haven't
talk.
convinced me otherwise.
I need to
Your turn.
talk. The kid who used this gun in the Florida shooting obtained it illegally. There are
Yeah.
restrictions in America where you cannot own a fully automatic rifle. Fully automatics have been banned since 1965. You need a Class 5 license in order
1965.
to get it. And it's a grandfather clause where you can't own anything new that's fully automatic. It has to be made prior to 1965. They're legal to own.
Wasn't that guy in
You
Las
have this
Vegas
license.
pretty old? Was he in the grandfather clause?
He didn't have fully automatic guns.
Oh, he was pretty
He
old
wasn't
though, because the
automatic.
grandfather clause sounds like a pretty scary clause. Unless it's Santa Claus. The Santa Claus
But he,
clause wouldn't be a scary clause. Maybe if there's a
but he
Santa Claus
obtained his
clause
guns legally.
in the gun laws. We
Again,
gotta stop this, Frank. We gotta stop this.
he attained his guns legally. What law would have stopped him from doing what he did? What law would stop him? I'm perfect.
Look outside the United States.
If
You're
you
only
give me a
looking at
perfect
examples in
law,
the United States. Look outside the United States and look at the number of deaths
it's not.
in school shootings.
It's not a solution.
Elementary school shootings. Look at elementary school shootings
There's
in
a
the
guy
first
in
world
China
outside
that
the
took a
United
knife
States.
to
Just look at all the cases of them.
There's a guy in China.
Cases.
There
Look
was a
up
guy in China.
before we talk next. No. Seriously, Frank, I gotta go. No, seriously, Frank, I gotta go. But before we talk next, look up all the school shootings, elementary school shootings in the first world, outside of the United States. I gotta go.
There was a guy in China who killed 50
But
people.
go ahead. Not with a gun. I do. I love you. Buy a shield, Frank. Buy a shield. Buy a shield, not a gun. A big titanium shield. Let's get big like
Iron
Captain
Man.
America shields. We should just we should start manufacturing Captain
Here's
America
what's
shields.
funny. Fraser, here's what's funny. Those kids in the Florida shooting, that 18 people killed, they have to now have IDs on them and wear clear backpacks so they can see everything inside. So they're going to stop school.
And that's where it goes to shit. That's where it goes to, our reaction to this is like either you and me fighting one another like for a half an hour or clear backpacks. This is just this is all dumb.
We're not going to agree on it. I'm American. I'm a patriot.
It's going to be a while before we find a solution, but I look forward to more conversations. No, I should keep it more calm. I should slow it down.
No, Fraser,
Fraser,
I love that you have a viewpoint. I love debate. I love being challenged like that. It's fantastic. But then
I gotta
again,
keep it.
we have a country. America is a country with freedoms. What you do with that freedoms, being good or bad, is up to the individual. So you
The
can use the
first
Second
one, the
Amendment.
First
Right.
Amendment, I am like 600% in agreement with your
But you
First
can use the
Amendment.
Second Amendment to do evil instead of do good. So they got the Vegas shooter who killed 100, somewhat, or 50 people rather, using the Second Amendment legally. So he used it for that legal thing for evil. There are people that are going to do that regardless of what you do. Now, you can't restrict
Yeah.
someone. You, it's like the, you want a government that's going to control your actions from the cradle to the grave, and that's more tyrannical fascism, socialism, communism than absolute
But
freedom.
as long as we keep the first one, I think the First Amendment is the solution to the Second Amendment
There
because
will
I
be
think the
no
Second
First Amendment
Amendment is
without the second.
problematic. I think the First Amendment is the solution to all the other ones. And as long as the
No
United
other
States keeps
country
the
in the world.
First Amendment, no, no, please, as long as the First Amendment stays primal, like that it's free speech, that we can talk these things out and that no one's stomping on that, then if we're talking about even if we're talking about stomping on gun rights, we're not talking about the first one. That we never, ever, 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 ever talk about the First Amendment. Even when we're talking about the Second Amendment, that we don't mess them up, that we're not talking about the government stepping on all rights, that the First Amendment, that first and primordial right to just, I get to say what I want and you get to say what you want, that one I think solves all the other ones. And I think that sometimes we forget that one while we're talking about the other
Yeah,
ones. And that this
absolutely.
one should be, the start of the conversation should be like you and I do. Well, we're going to talk. We're just going to talk. We're going to disagree about the
Oh,
second one, but we're going to talk tomorrow
we're
or
going to
later
talk,
this
right?
evening even,
And that's the
and
beauty.
that's the
That's the
first one. That's
absolute
the
beauty
beauty
of
of the system.
America.
I
That's the beauty.
love that one.
There,
The
there
second
is
and
no,
some of the other ones are kind of weird. Well, some of the other ones are good, but as soon as you get to two, it's like, whoops, that's the dog shit one because it's number two. Number two is shit, Frank.
oh wait, hold on a second.
But number one, it's not taking the
There,
piss.
around the world, there is no freedom of speech like in America.
No, it's
America
true.
is an anomaly where we can
That's
basically,
true.
I can walk up to Trump's desk, tell him you're a fucking awesome, you're an asshole president, I don't like you, and walk out. Do that in
Maybe
any
not
other country,
today.
they'll put a bullet in your head. No, maybe not today.
Maybe
But
not
I'm just
today.
saying, we have the freedom to
Eh,
do that. No other
And he
country in
has
the
the
world has
freedom
that.
to like respond in his manner to people that he feels are doing that to him. No, and that's beautiful. Absolutely. Like America, that is anomalous. I agree on that. I think we should end on that because I believe the Second Amendment is anomalous in the wrong way, but the first one is anomalous in the 100% right way.
I'm going to go to the amendments. We can talk about them. I actually, this is a good
Later,
podcast.
later, please. I should cut off before I'm going to end up
What?
like really
What is
low
it?
on
All right,
data.
great, great. No, no, okay, good. So I want to say that maybe we should take a break from Yogi Berra and take apart the Bill of Rights and the amendments as podcasts. This would be very
Sure,
interesting.
sure, sure. Like that one, and I made that joke on that animated thing. Like we've got 50 to go. It doesn't have to be 50 right now. We've got that
Yeah,
list saved. It's
yeah.
for sure. We can do something else for sure. Yeah,
I think
whatever
we could. Yeah.
comes to heart comes to mind. But I'll try and do later. I'm gonna try and like I last night I fell asleep and just like
If I'm
and I woke up
available
like
tonight, yeah,
I meant to just sit the little one to bed and then wake up myself and I was just like
yeah. No,
boom, I was
yeah,
done. So
I wanted
but
to go to
tonight
bed
I have
early.
a mind.
I wanted to go to bed early last night anyway because my brother's coming home today. I wanted to be up early in case he got home early.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case. So, it's
No,
fine
but I
now.
wish it was more planned. I wish we would say like this is maybe we should do like Sean says actually, and even just on a text at least say okay we'll do like say Monday. Well, like three. Let's pick 3 days and say this to 3 times at 11 o'clock. Then it's like in my calendar, not just saying like, well, we might
Yeah.
do it, and if we don't do it, I'll just apologize. And so so we say like always like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, say or something like this. Or depending on the week, we'll do in the beginning of the week. Hey, this is a good day for me, or that one, this kind of thing.
Okay.
And then we have a fixed time, rather than kind of like comes to like 11:05, and you're probably thinking, "Are we on?
Yeah.
Are we on?"
Yeah.
And that kind of sucks too, if you. So right. So anyway, so no, we can think about that. But tonight, or like I have the little one again, but again, we're thinking like
Maybe.
9 o'clock at least by he goes to bed, and then
All
no,
right.
we're
So
going
I don't know.
so
I'll
9,
let you know
10,
if I'm
11
available.
o'clock. I'm thinking 11 o'clock. Are you
I'll
thinking
let you know
11
if I'm
o'clock tonight?
available. Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
If
please.
I'm available, yeah, I'll let you know. I'll text you. Either
That's
through
it.
text on my phone or through Facebook Messenger. I'll let you know.
Maybe we could start with that. Just sort of like I'll try and at least remember every day that's sort of available at kind of mid-afternoon to say, hey, I'll be on or I'll be available tonight, and you can say the same thing. Whoops. Are you still there?
All right. Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, sorry, it's my car turned on or whatever. And then we
All right.
can pick it up like day by day, as it were. Yeah.
All right. It's
But okay, we'll talk
3:37.
later.
Sure. All right. So this
Sure.
is Seeking Truth, Finding Frank Fraser, and no agreement on the Second Amendment in the United States. So.
Not yet. Not
Oh
yet.
yeah. Oh, hold on a second. If you own a gun, never have to use it. Your Second Amendment rights were 90% mental and 50% physical.
That was good.
So we wrapped it up. All right. All right. I'll talk to you later, Fraser. God bless. Take care.